Infidelity. Despite popular belief, it is a choice. A couple of videos ago, I talked about something that I had been working on, a very sensitive topic, but nevertheless one that is a topic that is worth talking about, and that is infidelity. And what I was saying was I wanted to talk about the effects that infidelity has on one, whether it's the woman or the man, the effects that it have. And because I'm a woman, of course, I will be telling this from a woman's perspective. Yes, infidelity is a choice. It is not something that you just wake up one day and you find yourself in. No, it is something that over time, things have been leading into this or this act that leads you into committing adultery or whatever, stepping outside of your marriage, stepping outside of your relationship. It is a series of events. Like I said, you don't just wake up one day and say, well, I'm going to go sleep with such and such. Well, then again, I don't know because I've never done that. But from what I've seen, that there's some stuff that happens prior to that. And a lot of it is outside communication, outside of your relationship, that leads you down these paths that causes you to be unfaithful to your partner. Infidelity can leave some nasty effects, some nasty scarring. And for a woman, it can really, 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 really do something to her mental state. And from what I've seen and even what I've lived through and dealt with, it makes you feel that you are not good enough. You are not beautiful. There's something wrong with you. There's some lasting effects that infidelity can have on a person, to where if they don't properly heal from it, that is probably something they could carry for the rest of their life. I know for women, when we find out the person that we're in relationship with has stepped outside of the relationship, it takes its toll because it becomes a reflection type of thing, to where you start looking at, oh, I wasn't good enough, or I did this and I did that and I was the best at this and that. So how did this come about? And what I found is that you could be the best at everything there could be. But if the person you are with has decided that that is something that they're going to do, it does not matter the type of person you are. You could be the best at everything. You can give them everything they want in a relationship. You can give them, for married couples, you can give them, and I know married couples ain't the only one doing this, but for the sake of this video, I am talking about married people. For married people, you can be everything they desire in the bedroom. You could wear a superwoman cape and just make it all happen. You could be everything. You could be America's Next Top Model, but still not be enough for a person who has decided that whenever they have a chance or the opportunity, or if they keep communicating outside of it, that if they have a choice to step out, that's what they're going to do, because it is a choice. You are not forced into being unfaithful. You are not forced into adultery. You are not forced into any of it. It is a decision. Just like you decide to live faithful, you also can decide to not be faithful. It is a choice, regardless of what people say. Well, I just found myself here. No, there's things that led you up to but it was still a choice. And with it being a choice, I think this is what hurt women a lot. Again, I know men get cheated on as well, but I am a woman, so it's coming from my view. But I think this is what does the real damage. When a woman has a man that has stepped outside of their relationship, she begins to compare herself with the people who her partner, whether it's boyfriend or husband, has decided to be unfaithful with. So it becomes this, well, what does she have that I don't have? And what did he find so attractive in her that he didn't find in me? Sometimes that's irrelevant. Sometimes there is no competition. In the situation, you could still be the best. But at that moment, he has found someone to satisfy that thing that is in him. So many times when they step out in the relationship, they have stepped out with a person who has fed into that thing that is missing in them. And the thing that is missing may not have anything to do with you. It may just be something in them that has never been fulfilled, that they have now found somebody or something temporary to fill that thing that they think needs to be filled by somebody other than their partner. And so we get on this roller coaster of emotions, and then we start trying to change this about ourselves. And okay, I looked at her and this is what she does, so let me try this. It doesn't matter. You could be all of that to someone and still not be what they want. You could be what they need and it still not be what they want. But I know for women, we do that. And I'm assuming men would do that too. If their girlfriend or their wife stepped out on them, they probably go through this whole, because it's an ego thing with men, I'm told. It's an ego thing. Now they may be comparing, well, dude kind of built, he worked out, he lean, he fit, he cut up. Well, let me go to the gym some more. Let me do this. Or dude drive nice car. Oh, let me go trade in my old car. Let me, so I can imagine that guys will go through the same thing as well. But for the sake of women, we go through it mentally like really hard, because it's like, gosh, I couldn't keep his attention. It ain't that you couldn't keep his attention. It's just that there was something else that he desired. And sometimes they're on this hunt until they, I guess, fulfill it. But that thing that is missing can only be filled by God. So before they look, they've been through several other people, and that thing still is not fulfilled. This now, if God is showing you, okay, in this situation, how to help this situation, this is what you need to do. You need to do X, Y, and Z. You need to cater to your man more, your husband. If God is showing you or whatever, go ahead and make those changes that God is leading you. And even inside of your communicating with your partner, if there's things that your partner discloses to you, hey, inside of this relationship, I think we would be better if we did this, or if we carried ourselves this way. That's open communication that could change or help the relationship. But sometimes even when you have that may not be good enough. That person still is seeking out other measures or other relationships or whatever. So I know mentally for women, we beat ourselves up. We take it on like, oh my gosh, like what happened? What did I do? And sometimes it's nothing that we did. Sometimes there is things that we do, but sometimes it's so far beyond our control. Like we can't control the situation. Again, we could be everything, but still not be enough. It is a choice. Nobody is forced into infidelity. Nobody is forced into stepping outside of their relationship. Just like you can choose to be faithful in a relationship, you can choose also to be unfaithful, because there's things within you, or I'll say even us in relationships, there's things inside of us that we're looking for another person to fulfill and satisfy. And certain voids, we say, oh, I've lived all my life with this void, and I'm searching for this type of person to fulfill that void. Some voids can only be filled by God. It don't matter how many natural people you search for, until you surrender and give your whole heart, your whole life to God, that void is still going to go unfulfilled. And before you know it, you would have racked up a very large body count, with the number of people you felt like was going to fulfill that void, until you stop and see God is the only person that can fulfill this void. There is nothing nobody can do, but God can fulfill this void. This journey of healing and overcoming, I'm noticing that there was some effects of infidelity that made it so difficult when entering a new relationship, because everything that I had to look at inside of my relationship with infidelity, not my relationship with infidelity, but a relationship I was in where infidelity was involved, it made it so hard to accept that a person could genuinely love me for who I was. Not because I was anybody else, but because I was who I am. It made it hard because you automatically go back there and it's like, okay, if I wasn't good enough in that, am I good enough in this? Will this person do the same thing to me? So it makes you go into a relationship heavily guarded because the effects of what it left from the previous relationship, it makes it harder to be free or comfortable inside of a new relationship because you're stuck on, but in that relationship, I wasn't good enough. Who's to say I'm good enough in this relationship or this time around? And what I've come to accept and learn is you got to heal from those effects. And if you don't truly heal from it, you'll always be comparing your past to what you're currently in. And before you know it, if you don't let go of the past, it could very well destroy your future. So I know that it is tough entering a new relationship because you're constantly stuck on, will he do the same thing to me? Will he love me now, but then make a choice to step outside? And I think this is one of the risky things with love. I know we can say, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm never going to, enter into a relationship again. But one of the risks we run inside of loving is to be hurt. Now, no, we don't enter into a relationship expecting to be hurt. But when you are getting to know people and you fall in love with people, there's a risk that you could be hurt. Now, I know that's scary to hear, but it's a risk. And sometimes we have to get past that and stop the focus from being on, but what if he hurts me? Because what if he doesn't hurt you? These people aren't the same from the people from your past. So you have to be able to let that go and give something your full attention, all of your effort, because it doesn't have to be the same way. And I know for me, when I entered this relationship, when we first started talking about 2 years ago, I was like, ain't nothing this man could tell me that I'm going to believe, because I don't believe nothing. But I think that was the effects of what happened in my previous relationship, to where it made me get to that point. Man, you could tell me whatever, and I'm probably not going to believe any of it, because that's just where I was. And, oh, you told me that you love me. Sure you do. What do you want? Or whatever. And those are effects of previous relationships going wrong, to where now you have someone totally different, someone of a different character, someone that you feel the love from, and you're guarded because of what you've had prior. In all of this video, I want to just encourage not just the ladies, even though I said a lot about the ladies, I just want to encourage somebody who may be dealing with infidelity in their relationship. Sometimes I think the person that is committing this act, they have to stop and see, do I truly love the person that I'm with. And if we can say yes, then that should be enough for us to refrain from stepping outside of our relationships. But if we constantly step outside of our relationships, then there's some love that is missing in that relationship. We don't truly love those people the way that we truly say we do, because that type of love, that when you truly love people, you don't set out to intentionally hurt them. Stepping outside of your relationship, that's an intentional hurt or whatever. That's a decision that you are consciously making to step outside of a relationship and a person that you say that you love. If it's so comfortable for you to keep doing that, then you don't love that person the way that you truly do. You say it with your mouth, but genuinely in your heart, you don't love that person like that. And that's something that you have to deal with inwardly. I don't love the way that I should love, because if I truly love this person, there's no way that I could keep stepping out on them. That's something you have to examine. But I pray for anybody who has had to go through infidelity. It does not feel good. It is so humiliating. It is so embarrassing. And if you do not lean on God in the aftermath of it all, there's really no telling where you could end up. You could be, I promise you, I swear I should be in a psych ward. I probably shouldn't even be here. I could probably be in jail or dead, but I promise you, it hurts you like nothing I've ever felt outside of the death of my mother. That hurts. And it's so embarrassing. And sometimes people feel like they aren't going to bounce back from this. But take it from me, you can bounce back from it. Trust in God. Give it all to God. Everything you feel about it, every disgusting feeling, emotion, everything. Be completely open and honest with God. God already knows anyway, but just say, Lord, this hurts. I don't know how I'm supposed to heal from this. I don't know how I'm supposed to bounce back from this, but Lord, I trust you. You said you would never leave me nor forsake me. You said you would not put more on me than I can bear. And so, God, if this is what I'm dealing with, then this is obviously what you felt was needed for my life to help make me and mold me into the person that you would have me to be. So, Lord, if that is your purpose and your plan for my life, then, Lord, I ask that you help me get through it. And I promise you, I don't know how he's going to do it in your life, but I know in mine, I am still here. I am still going. I am still walking with my head held high because God carried me. And I pray that he will do the same in your life. If you decide to stay with your partner, you forgive them and you stay with them after infidelity, sis, bro, I root for you, because that's a huge step to make. After you've been embarrassed or, hurt that way, that is such a huge commitment. It's not impossible, but it is something that is really big. And I commend you. If you are trying to still make it work or whatever, I pray that God covers you both inside of the decision, and he honors you and he helps you all to make it inside of your walk. As always, I so appreciate you stopping by. I hope that you will like and share this video. If you have any questions for me, I'm going to drop my email on the screen. Please feel free to reach out to me. If there's something you want to see or hear me talk more in depth in, please do not hesitate to drop that in the inbox. Until next time, God bless you.